This is ridiculous. It's the day of the festival. Of all days, I expected this to be the one where I'd be walking to school with Sayori. But Sayori isn't answering her phone. I considered going to her house to wake her up, but decided that's a little too much. Bro, she's depressed! Go check! Meanwhile, the preparations for the event should be nearly complete. The banner Yuri and I painted is dry, and I gently rolled it up to take it with me. She sent me a pleasant text reminding me not to forget anything, and I reassured her. Funnily enough, I probably feel the same way as Natsuki about the event. I'm more excited for it to be over so I can spend time with Sayori and Yuri at the festival. But knowing Monica, I'm sure the event will be great too. Coochie Man! Hi, Monica. You're the first one here. Thanks for being early. That's funny. I thought at least Yuri would be here by now. Monica is placing little booklets on each of the desks in the classroom. They must be the ones she prepared that have all the poems we're performing. In the end, I found a random poem online that I thought Monica would like and submitted it. So that's the one I'll be performing. I'm surprised you didn't bring Sayori with you. Yeah, she overslept again, that dummy. You'd think that on the days this important, she'd try a little harder. I say that, but I suddenly remember what Sayori told me yesterday, and I suddenly feel awful knowing it's not nearly that simple for her. I only said it because it's the way I'm used to thinking. But maybe I should have gone to wake her up after all. Ahaha. You should take a little responsibility for her, Coochie Man. I mean, especially after your exchange with her yesterday. Damn, she don't even talking shit with her friends. You kind of left her hanging this morning, you know? Exchange. Monica, you know about that? Of course I do. I'm the club president after all. Man, bitches be talking, bro. That's why I hate bitches. You can't just keep it in between, like, you know what I'm saying? She immediately went home and told Monica, she's like, Coochie Man wants my coochie. You know what I mean? What the fuck? I stammer, embarrassed. Did Sayori really tell her about it that quickly? Yeah, fucking bitch. That we're a couple now? I didn't really plan on bringing it up with anyone yet. Jeez, you don't know the full story at all, so don't worry. I probably know a lot more than you think. What the fuck? Eh? Monica's being as friendly as usual, but for some reason I felt a chill down my spine after hearing that. Hey, do you want to check out the pamphlets? They came out really nice. It's weird that there's no music playing. Yeah, sure. I grabbed one of the pamphlets, laid out on the desk. Oh yeah, they really did. Something like this will definitely help people take the club more seriously. The Coochie Council? Oh god. Yeah, I thought so too. I flipped through the pages. Each member's poem is neatly printed out on its own page, giving it an almost professional feel. I recognize Natsuki's and Yuri's poem from the ones they performed during our practice. What's this? I flipped to Sayori's poem. It's different from the one she practiced. It's one that I haven't read before. Percent. Get out of my head, get out of my... What the fuck? All right, chat. We're gonna read all of this. Get out of my head. 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 Get out of my head before I do what I know is best for you. Get out of my head before I listen to everything she said to me. Get out of my head before I show you how much I love you. Get out of my head before I finish writing this poem. But a poem is never actually finished. It just stops moving. What? Ah, what is this? Reading the poem, I get a pit in my stomach. Coochie Man? What's wrong? Ah, nothing. This poem feels completely different from everything else Sayori's written. But more than that, I changed my mind. I'm going to get Sayori, so... well, alright. Try not to take too long, okay? I quickly leave the classroom. Don't strain yourself, Monica calls out after me. I quicken my pace. What was I thinking? I should have tried a little bit harder for Sayori. It's not a big deal to at least wait for her or help her wake up. Even the simple gesture of walking her to school makes her really happy. Besides, I told her yesterday that things will be the same as they always have been. That's all she needs, and that's what I want to give her. I reach Sayori's house and knock on the door. I don't expect an answer since she's not picking up her phone either. Like yesterday, I open the door and let myself in. Sayori? She really is a heavy sleeper. I swallow. A gulp? I can't believe I ended up doing this after all. Waking her up in her own house? That really is something a boyfriend would do, isn't it? In any case, it just feels right. Outside Sayori's room, I knock on her door. Sayori? Wake up, dummy. There's no response. I really didn't want to have to enter her room like this. Isn't it kind of a breach of privacy? But she really leaves me no choice. I gently open the doors. There's no fucking way. Bro! I thought this game was about fucking! I'm not gonna lie, that made me feel really weird. The moment that scene popped, I feel weird, right? What the hell? What the hell? Is this a nightmare? It has to be. This isn't real. There's no way this can be real. Sayori wouldn't. Why is it just on this fucking image? Everything was normal up until a few days ago. That's why I can't believe what my eyes are showing me. I suppressed the urge to vomit. Just yesterday, I told Sayori I would be there for her. I told her I know what's best and that everything will be okay. Then why? Why would she do this? How could I be so helpless? What did I do wrong? Confessing to her. I shouldn't have confessed to her. That's not what Sayori needed at all. She even told me how painful it is for others to care about her. Then why did I confess to her and make her feel even worse? Why was I so selfish? This is my fault. My swarming thoughts keep telling me everything I could have done to prevent this. If I just spent more time with her, walked her to school, and remained friends with her like it always has been, then it could have been prevented this. I know I could have prevented this. Screw the literature club. Screw the festival. I just lost my best friend. Someone I grew up with. She's gone forever now. Nothing I can do can bring her back. This isn't some game where I can reset and try something different. It is, actually. Imagine I just save and start again. I had only one chance and I wasn't careful enough. Now I'll carry this guilt with me until I die. Nothing in my life is worth more than hers, but I still couldn't do what she needed from me. And now I can never take it back. Never. 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 Bro, what the fuck? That's it? That's it? What the fuck is that? What is that on the screen? Why is it pixelated? Why is it like that? And why is the new game thing gone? Do I click this? I'm gonna click it. What the fuck? I see an annoying girl running toward me from the distance, waving her arms in the air like she's totally oblivious to any attention she might draw to herself. That girl was my neighbor and good friend since we were children. You know, the kind of friend you never see yourself making today, but just kind of... What is going... What the fuck happened? It's an ordinary school day, just like any other. Mornings are usually the worst, being surrounded by couples and friend groups walking to school together. Meanwhile, I've always walked to school alone. I always tell myself it's about time I meet some girls or something like that, but I had no motivation to join any clubs. I'm perfectly content just getting by on the average while spending my free time on games and anime. There's always the anime club, but it's not like there would be any girls in it anyway. The school day is as ordinary as ever, and it's over before... Am I doing the right thing? After I pack up my things, I stare blankly at the wall looking for an ounce of motivation. Clubs. There really aren't any that interest me. Besides, most of them would probably be way too demanding for me to want to deal with. I guess I have no choice but to start with the anime club. Coochie Man? Monica? Oh my goodness, I totally didn't expect to see you here. Have a good one, Mr. Krabs. Appreciate you stopping by. It's been a while, right? Yeah, it has. Monica smiles sweetly. We do know each other well. We rarely talked, but we were in the same class last year. Monica was probably the most popular girl in class. Smart, beautiful, and athletic. Basically completely out of my league. So having her smile at me generally feels a little... What did you come in here for anyway? Oh, I've just been looking for some supplies to use for my club. Do you know if there's any construction paper in here? Or markers? I guess you could check the closet. You're in the debate club, right? About that. I actually quit the debate club. Really? You quit? Yeah. To be honest, I can't stand all of the politics around the major clubs. It feels like nothing but arguing about the budget and publicity and how to prepare for events. I'd much rather take something I personally enjoy and make something special out of it. In that case, what club did you decide to join? Actually, I'm starting a new one. A literature club. Literature? That sounds kind of dull. How many members do you have so far? It's kind of embarrassing, but there's only 3 of us so far. It's really hard to find new members for something that sounds so boring. Well, I can see that. Dude, I can't believe the game just fucking killed off Sayori. I don't even know what's a thing right now, bro. Fucking pissed. It's really not boring at all, you know? Literature can be anything. Reading, writing, poetry. I mean, one of my members even keeps her manga collection in the classroom. Wait, really? Yeah, it's funny, right? She always insists that manga is literature, too. I mean, she's not wrong, I guess. And besides, a member's a member, right? Did Monica say she? Hey, Coochie Man, by any chance, are you still looking for a club to join? Ah. I mean, I guess so, but in that case, is there any chance you could do me a big favor? I won't ask you to join, but if you could at the very least visit my club, it would make me really happy. Please? Well, I guess I have no reason to refuse. Besides, how could I ever refuse someone like Monica? Sure, I guess I could check it out. Awesome. You're really sweet, Coochie Man, you know that? It's nothing, really. Shall we go, then? I'll look for the materials another time. You're more important. And thus today marks the day I sold my soul to Monica and her irresistible smile. I dejectedly follow Monica across the school and upstairs, a section of the school I rarely visit. What am I doing? Is this still the same story? Did I start a new game? What is going on? Monica, full of energy, swings open the classroom door. I'm back, and I brought a guest with me. A guest? Seriously, you brought a boy? Way to kill the atmosphere. Don't be mean, Natsuki. But anyway, welcome to the club, Coochie Man. All the words escape me in the situation. This club is full of incredibly cute girls, so let me guess. You're Monica's boyfriend, right? What? No, I'm not. Natsuki. The girl with the sour attitude, whose name is apparently Natsuki, is the one I don't recognize. Her small figure makes her look like a first-year student. Anyway, this is Natsuki, energetic as usual. And this is Yuri, the vice president. Do you just play this game until everybody's fucking dead and you're left with one? Or what the fuck is this game? Yuri, who appears comparably more mature and timid, seems to have a hard time keeping up with someone like Natsuki. Yeah, it's nice to meet both of you. So I ran into Coochie Man in the classroom and he decided to check out the club. Isn't that great? Wait, Monica, didn't I tell you to let me know in advance before you brought anyone new? I was going to, well, you know, sorry. I didn't forget that, but I just happened to run into him. See, I'm not getting fucking cupcakes this time. In that case, I should at least make some tea, right? Yeah, that would be great. Why don't you come sit down, Coochie Man? The girls have a few desks arranged to form a table. Yuri walks to the corner of the room and opens the closet. Meanwhile, Monica and Natsuki sit across from each other. Still feeling awkward, I take a seat next to Monica. So I know you didn't really plan on coming here, but we'll make sure you feel right at home, okay? As president of the literature club, it's my duty to make the club fun and exciting for everyone. I'm surprised there aren't more people in the club yet. It must be hard to start a new club. You could put it that way. Not many people are very interested in putting out all the efforts to start something brand new, especially when it's something that doesn't grab your attention, like literature. You have to work hard to convince people that you're both fun and worthwhile. But it makes school events like the festival that much more important. What is going on, bro? I'm kind of pissed. Like, am I doing the right thing, Hosby? Is this what I'm supposed to be doing? Am I on the right track? Am I following the story? I'm confident that we can really grow this club before we graduate, because I'm fucking confused. Right, Natsuki? Well, I guess. Keep going? Okay. Natsuki reluctantly agrees. Such different girls all interested in the same goal. Monica must have really worked hard to just find these two. Yuri turns to the table carrying a tea set. She carefully places the teacup in front of each of us before setting down the teapot in the middle. You keep a whole tea set in this classroom? Don't worry, the teachers gave us permission. After all, doesn't a hot cup of tea help you enjoy a good book? I guess. Don't let yourself get intimidated. Yuri's just trying to impress you. That's not... Insulted, Yuri looks away. I mean, I believe you. Well, the tea and reading might not be a pastime for me, but I at least enjoy tea. I'm glad. Yuri faintly smiles to herself in relief. So, Coochie Man, what things do you like to read? Well, considering how little I've read these past few years, I don't really have a good way of answering that. Manga? I muttered quietly to myself, half joking. Natsuki's head suddenly perks up. It looks like she wants to say something, but she keeps quiet. Not much of a reader, I guess. Well, that can change. What am I saying? I spoke without thinking after seeing Yuri's sad smile. Anyway, what about you, Yuri? Well, let's see. Yuri traces the rim of her teacup with her finger. My favorites are usually novels that build deep and complex fantasy worlds. The level of creativity and craftsmanship behind them is amazing to me. And telling a good story in such a foreign world is equally impressive. Yuri goes on, clearly passionate about her reading. She seems so reserved and timid the moment I walked in, but it's obvious by the way her eyes light up that she finds her comfort in the world of books, not people. But you know, I like a lot of things. Stories with deep psychological elements usually immerse me as well. Isn't it amazing how a writer can so deliberately take advantage of your own lack of imagination to completely throw you for a loop? Yeah, asshole! Anyway, I've been reading a lot of horror lately. Yeah, is this fucking game a horror game? Jesus! Ah, I read a horror book once. I desperately grasped something I can relate to at the minimal level. At this rate, Yuri might as well be having a conversation with a rock. Ahem, I'd expect that from you, Yuri. It suits your personality. Oh, is that so? Really, if a story makes me think or takes me to another world, then I really can't put it down. Surreal horror is often very successful at changing the way you look at the world, if only for a brief moment. Ugh, I hate horror. Oh, why is that? Well, Natsuki's eyes dart over to me for a split second. Never mind. That's right, you usually like to write about cute things, don't you, Natsuki? What? What gives you that idea? You left a piece of scrap paper behind the last club meeting. It looked like you were writing a poem called Don't Say It Out Loud, and give that back. Fine. Natsuki, you write your own poems? Well, I guess sometimes. Why do you care? I think that's impressive. Why don't you share them sometime? No. Natsuki averts her eyes. You wouldn't like them. Not a very confident writer yet. I understand how Natsuki feels. Sharing that level of writing takes more than just confidence. The truest form of writing is writing to oneself. You must be willing to open up to your readers, exposing your vulnerabilities and showing even the deepest reaches of your heart. Do you have writing experience too, Yuri? Maybe if you share some of your work, you can set an example and help Natsuki feel comfortable enough to share hers. I guess it's the same for Yuri. We all sat in silence for a moment. Hey, I just got an idea. How about this? Natsuki and Yuri look quizzically at Monika. Let's all go home and write a poem of our own. The next time we meet, we'll all share them with each other. That way everyone is even. I thought it was a good idea. Well, I think you're right, Monika. We should probably start finding activities for all of us to participate in together. I did decide to take on the responsibility of vice president after all. I need to do my best to nurture the club as well as its members. Besides, now that we have a new member, it seems like a good step for us to take. Don't you agree? Oh, do you agree as well, Kuchi-man? Hold on, there's still one problem. What's that? Now that we've reached this important topic, I bluntly come forth with what's been on my mind the entire time. I never said I would join this club. Monika may have convinced me to stop by, but I never made any decision. I still have other clubs to look at, and I lose my train of thought. All three girls stare back at me with dejected eyes. But, I'm sorry, I thought... The girls exchange glances before Monika turns back to me. I guess I need to tell you the truth, Kuchi-man. The thing is, we don't have enough members yet to form an official club. We need 4, and I've been trying really, really hard to find new members. And if we don't find one more before the festival, I'm defenseless against these girls. How am I supposed to make a clear-headed decision when it's like this? You hate the number 3? That's my favorite number. I would feel terrible for letting everyone down in this situation. And besides, the club itself seems pretty relaxed. So if writing poems is the price I need to pay in order to spend every day with these beautiful girls, right, okay, I've decided then. I'll join the literature club. One by one, the girls' eyes light up. Oh my goodness. Really? Do you really mean that, Kuchi-man? Yeah. It could be fun, right? You really did scare me for a moment. I mean, if you really just left after all of this, I would be super pissed. Kuchi-man, I'm so happy. We can become an official club now. Thank you so much for this. You're really amazing. I'll do everything I can to give you a great time, okay? Thanks, I guess. Okay, everyone. I think with that, we can officially end today's meeting on a good note. Everyone remember tonight's assignment. Write a poem to bring to the next meeting so we can all share. Monika looks over at me once more. Kuchi-man, I look forward to seeing how you express yourself. Yeah. Can I really impress the class star Monika with my mediocre writing skills? I already feel the anxiety welling up inside of me. Meanwhile, the girls continue to chit-chat as Yuri cleans up the tea set. I guess I'll be on my way then. Okay. I'll see you tomorrow then. I can't wait. With that, I depart the club room and make my way home. The whole way home, my mind wanders back and forth between the 3 girls. Natsuki, Yuri, and of course Monika. Will I really be happy spending every day after school in a literature club? Perhaps I'll have the chance to grow closer to one of these girls. Alright, I'll just need to make the most of my circumstances, and I'm sure some good fortune will find me. And I guess that starts with writing a poem tonight. Bro, what the fuck? Like, you've unlocked a special poem. Would you like to read it? Wait, did I click no? Wait, did I do no? I think I hit no, didn't I? I couldn't tell what it was hovered over. Did I fuck up? I thought the brighter pink was me hovering over it, not the lighter pink. I think I just sold. And now there's only 2 on the book. What the fuck Bro, what the fuck is going on? I have so many questions. My main character's memories. I just feel the wrath. It felt like a dream. Bro, what the fuck? Did I fuck up, Hosby, by not reading the poem? Or can I go somewhere in the settings and like the extra content and look at it? I'm so confused. I'm so confused right now. You think I may have fucked up? What? See, I didn't realize based on the colors. Hold on, let's go to the main menu. I think I fucked up. Bro, don't do me like that. I couldn't tell. Bro, that's gonna make me so mad. Oh, should I go back to this autosave? I think I can. I can. Okay, I went back to this auto. Okay. We're not gonna fuck this one up. Let's spam through it. Let's spam through it. We're just gonna spam through this shit. That's what we're gonna do. Now, hopefully it works. I see an auto button and a skip button, but it won't let me hit the skip button. We're just spamming through it. What happened? You're gone from it? The bitch is dead, Devin! She's dead! And I'm confused. I'm just spamming through it because I fucked up on one of the things and I'm going back. Game is not fucking fun anymore. I'm not happy. I am not happy. Very, very angry. That was so fucked up. That's so fucked up, dude. If I saw my main character IRL, bro, I'd beat the fuck out of him. Bro, I'm sorry. I couldn't tell what I was hovering over. I thought I was hovering on no. So I went to the side and I hit. Oh, I'm sorry, bro. My bad. I couldn't tell from the colors, bro, what I was hovering over. I could not tell what color I was hovered over. I'm just spamming through this shit right now. Okay, here we go. See, look. You guys can't tell. I thought I was on no. Okay? By the way the color scheme is. Fuck you guys. Yes. What the fuck was that? What the fuck was that, dude? I'm so fucking mad. What was that? That was not a special poem. Sadness. Bro, I don't want to play this game anymore. I'm fucking mad. I don't want to play this game anymore, chat. It's not fun. I want to go watch anime and be an intellectual because this game has sent me in a whirlwind of hopeless tears that are very unstable and make me feel like I want to explode and just play games. Uncontrollable horniness. I don't even know anymore, dude. I'm just mad. Bro, like, what the fuck was that? I'm so confused by this game, dude. Misfortune. Like, is my character, like, is he so fucked up in the head? You guys obviously don't tell me shit. You guys obviously don't tell me anything. But is my character so fucked up in the head, he's replaying his life as if he didn't know Sayori? Like, is that what's going on right now? Is that how fucked up this game is right now? Hi again, Coochie Man. Glad to see you didn't run away on us, haha. Now, don't worry. This might be a little strange for me, but I at least kept my word. Keep my word. Well, I'm back at the literature club. I was the last to come in, so everyone else is already hanging out. Thanks for keeping your promise, Coochie Man. I hope this isn't too overwhelming of a commitment to you. For you, it is a fucking overwhelming commitment. I fucking regret my chat convincing me to play this fucking game, Yuri. No matter how much bloody fingers you suck on me, okay? Making you dive headfirst into literature when you're not accustomed to it. Oh, come on, like he deserves any slack. You already had to be dragged here by Monica. Dude, what is this fucking game, man? I don't know if you plan to come here and hang out or what. But if you don't take it seriously, then you won't see the end of it. He's probably asleep from work. Work's been like getting him hella exhausted. But I can't even see what the fucking words are. You're in the fucking way. What the Natsuki finds herself stuck between saying Monica and manga. Manga is literature. Swiftly defeated Natsuki plops back into her seat. You're glad I'm playing this game? Yeah, I feel like my chat probably is too, but I'm fucking not. I'm sorry, Coochie Man. Well, make sure to put your comfort first, okay? Yuri shoots Natsuki with a disappointed glance. Anyway, now that you're in the club and all, perhaps you might have interest in picking up a book to read. Well, I can't really say no either way. Like you said, I'm in this club now, so it only feels right for me to do something like that if you ask. Wait, I didn't mean it like that. If you don't really want to, then forget I said anything, I guess. No, it's not that, Yuri. I want to try and be a part of this club. So even if I don't read often, I'd be happy to pick up a book if you wanted me to. Yeah, there's no going back, chat. I spent $13.50 on this bitch. There ain't no going back until it's done. Are you sure? I just felt like, well, as vice president and all, that I should help you get started on something you might like. Yuri reaches into her bag and pulls out a book. I didn't want you to feel left out, so I picked out a book that I thought you might enjoy. It's a short read, so it should keep your attention even if you don't usually read. And we could, discuss it if you wanted. You know what I'm saying? I'm depressed that Sayori's gone, but I'm still trying to, you know what I'm saying? FBI boy, what's up? Welcome to the stream. Thank you so much for the follow. Hope you're having a phenomenal night tonight. I appreciate you. How's this girl accidentally being so cute? She even picked out a book she thinks I'll like despite me not reading much. Yuri, thank you. I'll definitely read this. I enthusiastically take the book. Phew. Well, you can read it at your own pace. I look forward to hearing what you think. Now that everyone's settled in, I expected Monica to kick off some scheduled activities for the club. But that doesn't seem to be the case. Yuri's face is already buried in a book. I can't help but notice her intense expression, like she was waiting for this chance. Meanwhile, Natsuki is rummaging around in the closet. I'm really curious to talk to Yuri a little bit more, but at the same time, I would feel bad for distracting her from reading. I catch a glimpse of the cover of her book. It looks like the same book that she lent me. More than that, she seems to be on the first few pages. Crap. I think she noticed me looking at her. She sneaks another glance at me, and our eyes meet for a split second. But that only makes her hide her face deeper in her book. Sorry, I was just spacing out. I muttered this, sensing I made her uncomfortable. Oh, it's fine. If I was focused, then I probably wouldn't have noticed in the first place. But I'm just rereading a bit of this, so... That's the book you gave me, right? Mm-hmm. I want to reread some of it. Not for any particular reason. Just curious, how come you have 2 copies of the same book? Well, when I stopped at the bookstore yesterday, and that's not what I meant. I mean, I just happened to buy 2 of them. What the fuck? I see. There's something fairly obvious here that Yuri isn't telling me, but I decide to let it go. I'll definitely start reading it soon. I'm glad to hear. Once it starts to pick up, you might have a hard time putting it down. It's a very engaging and relatable story. Yo, what's up? This man always brings up the fucking eggplant, dude. Bro, stop! I'm gonna fight you. I swear. How you been, dude? It's been a minute. It's a very engaging and relatable story. Always gotta bring up the eggplant emotes. God damn it. You're never gonna let it go, are you? Is that so? What's the story about anyway? Well, I look at the cover of the book. The book is titled Portrait of Markov. There's an ominous-looking eye symbol on the front cover. Basically, it's about this religious camp that was turned into a human experiment prison. Okay. Why the fuck would she think I would like this? And the people trapped there have this trait that turns them into killing machines that lust for blood. Actually, no, it sounds kind of badass now. But the facility gets even worse, and they start selectively breeding people by cutting off their limbs and affixing them to... Oh, that might be a little bit of a spoiler. Okay, yeah, no, the book is fucking weird. But anyway, I'm really into it. God, you're fucking creepy. The book, I mean. Not to think about the limbs. That's kind of dark, isn't it? You made it sound like it was going to be a nice story, so that dark turn came from nowhere. Are you not a fan of that sort of thing, Coochie Man? No, it's not that. I mean, I can definitely enjoy those kinds of stories, so don't worry. I hope so. Yeah, I totally forgot that Yuri's into those things. She's so shy and reclusive on the outside, but her mind seems to be completely different. It's just that this kind of story, it's the kind that challenges you to look at life from a strange new perspective. When horrible things happen, not just because someone wants to be evil, but because the world is full of horrible people and we're all worthless anyways. Yo, video game creators, fucking relax. Fucking relax. Then suddenly, I'm rambling, aren't I? What the fuck? Not again. Yuri's kind of scaring me now. Hey, don't apologize. I haven't lost interest or anything. Well, I guess it's alright then, but I feel like I should let you know that I have this problem. When I let things like books and writings fill my thoughts, my whole body... That went by so fucking fast. My whole body gets incredibly... It said something in the weird gibberish. I just rewatched it on stream. I kind of forget to pay attention to other people. The guy who made this game was a professional Melee player? I wonder why this game's fucking creepy. Jesus. Are you serious? That makes sense. Imagine. Yes? Oh my God. I'm gonna have no comment on that because this is going on YouTube. I'm gonna have no comment on it, but... If you know, you know. You know? Just saying. So I'm sorry if I ended up saying something strange. And please stop me if I start talking too much. I really don't think you need to worry. That just means you're passionate about reading. The least I can do is listen. It's a literature club after all. Well, that's true. In fact, I might as well get started reading. Yes. I mean, you don't have to, but what are you saying? Let me just get the book. I quickly retrieved the book that I had put into my bag. Alright, it's fine if I sit here, right? I slip into the seat next to Yuri's. Oh, there's an Easter egg for it? Oh, that's dope. I slip into the seat next to Yuri's. Yeah. Are you sure? You seem a little apprehensive. I'm sorry. It's not that I don't want you to. It's just something I'm not very used to. That is reading in company with somebody. I see. Well, just tell me if I end up distracting you or anything. Alright. I open the book and I start the prologue. Yeah, this game is fucking weird for being still frames. I soon understand what Yuri means about reading in company. It's as if I can feel her presence over my shoulder as I read. It's not a particularly bad thing, maybe a little distracting, but the feeling is somewhat comforting. Yuri's in the corner of my eye. I realize that she's not actually looking at her own book. I glance over. It looks like she's reading from my book instead. Sorry. I was just bathing in the feeling of... It's going so fucking fast. I had to read it from stream. I was just bathing in the feeling of your body heat. Yuri, you really apologize a lot, don't you? I do? I didn't really mean to. Sorry. I mean, ahaha. Here, this should work, right? I slide my desk until it's up against Yuri's, then hold my book more in between the two of them. Ah, I suppose so. Yuri timidly closes her own copy. Once we each lean in a little bit, our shoulders are almost touching. It feels like my left arm is in the way, so instead I use my right hand to hold the book open. I guess that makes it more difficult to turn the page. Here. Yuri takes her left arm and holds the left side of the book between her thumb and forefinger. Ah, I did the same thing with my right arm on the right side of the book. Like, this is how people used to read when the school couldn't afford books. They're like, hey, class, I only have fucking 2 history books. Everybody share. That way I turn my page and Yuri slides it under her thumb after it flips to her side. But in holding it like this, we're huddled even closer together than before. It's actually kind of distracting me. It's as if I can feel the warmth of Yuri's face and she's in the corner of my vision. Are you ready? Yo, we finna fuck. To turn the page. Ah, sorry. I think I got a bit distracted for a second. I glance over at Yuri's face again, and our eyes meet. I don't know how I'll be able to keep up with her. Ah, that's okay. You're not as used to reading, right? I don't mind being patient if it takes you a bit longer. It's probably the least I can do, since you've been so patient with me. Yeah, thanks. We continue reading. Yuri no longer asks me if I'm ready to turn the page. Instead, I just assume that she finishes the page before me, so I turn it by my own volition. We continue the first chapter in silence. Even so, turning each page almost feels like an intimate exchange. My thumb gently letting go of the page, letting it flutter over to her side as she catches it under her own thumb. Hey Yuri, this might be a silly thought, but the main character kind of reminds me of you a little bit. Eh? No, I don't relate to this character at all. Definitely not. Really? I was just thinking the way she second guesses things she says and all that. That's what you're thinking about. Sorry. Thought you meant something else about her. Something else? Never mind. We didn't even get that far yet. She's probably mad horny in the book or some shit. So I don't know why that came in my head. Ahaha. Yuri, are you feeling alright? Yuri's been a little fidgety ever since we started reading. You can rest if you're feeling sick or something. Your breathing is a little... My breathing. Yuri puts... Yeah, Yuri at bleeding fingers. Yeah, for real. She loves that Yoshi tongue on a fucking bloody finger, bro. That's so weird. Yuri puts her hands on her chest as to feel her heartbeat. I didn't even notice. Anyway, I'm fine. I just need some water. Hydrate, bitch. Alright, don't push yourself. Yuri stands up and practically rushes out of the classroom. What on earth was that about? Coochie Man? Did something happen just now? I have no idea. Yuri was acting a little strange, I guess. So you don't know anything. Sorry, I can't say I do. Are you worried about her? Oh, no, not really. I was just making sure that you didn't do anything to her, because I'll cut your dick off. Oh, no, nothing. Don't worry, I believe you, silly. Yuri just does this sometimes, so it's nothing alarming. Alright, if you say so. Anyway, why don't we start with sharing our poems with each other? Shouldn't we wait for Yuri? Well, she might be a while, so I just figured that we'd get started without her. Is that okay? Yeah, I was just asking. I stand up. I make a mental note of where I left off in the book, then I slip it back into my bag. Who should I show my poem to first? Monica. I should start with Monica. Yesterday she seemed eager to read my poem, and I want her to know I'm putting in effort. Hi, Coochie Man. Having a good time so far? Ah, yeah. Good, glad to hear it. By the way, since you're new and everything, if you ever have any suggestions for the club, like new activities or things we can do better, I'm always listening. Don't be afraid to bring things up, okay? Alright, I'll keep that in mind. Of course I'll be afraid to bring things up. I'm much better off with just going with the flow until I'm more settled in. Anyway, Want to share your poem with me? It's kind of embarrassing, but I guess I have to. Don't worry, Coochie Man. We're all a little embarrassed today, you know? But that's sort of... It's that sort of barrier that we'll all learn to get past soon. Yeah, that's true. I hand Monica my poem. Great job, Coochie Man. I was going, oh, in my head while reading it. It's really metaphorical. I'm not sure why, but I didn't expect you to go for something so deep. I guess I underestimated you. It's easiest for me to keep everyone's expectations low. That way, it always counts when I put in some effort. That's not very fair. Well, I guess it worked anyway. You know that Yuri likes this kind of writing, right? Writing that's full of imagery and symbolism. Sometimes I feel like Yuri's mind is just totally detached from reality. I don't mean that like it's a bad thing, though. But sometimes I get the impression that she's totally given up on people. She spends so much time in her own head that it's probably a much more interesting place for her. But that's why she gets so happy when you treat her with a lot of kindness. I don't think she gets used to being indulged like that. She must be really starved for social interaction, so I don't blame her for coming on a little strongly. Like earlier, I think if she gets too stimulated, she ends up withdrawing and looking for alone time. Suddenly, the door opens. Yuri! I'm back. Did I miss anything, guys? Not really. Well, we all started sharing our poems with each other. Already? I'm sorry for being late. No need to apologize. We still have plenty of time. So I'm glad that you took all the time you needed. Alright. Thanks, Monica. I suppose I should go get my poem now. Anyway, do you want to read my poem now? Don't worry, I'm not very good. You sound pretty confident for someone who claims to not be very good. Well, that's because I had to sound confident. That doesn't mean I always feel that way, you know? I see. Well, let's read it then. Hole in a wall. But he wasn't looking at me. Confused, I frantically glanced at my surroundings, but my burned eyes can no longer see color. Are there others in the room? Are they talking, or are they simply poems on flat sheets of paper? The sound of frantic scrawling playing tricks on my ears. The room begins to crinkle. Closing in on me, the air I breathe dissipates before it reaches my lungs. I panic. There must be a way out. It's right there. He's right there. Sowing my fears, I brandish my pen. I do need some water. I'm being quite the narrator. Thank you, Hosby. So what do you think? It's very freeform, if that's what you call it. Ow. I'd be such a good, like, narrator slash, like, caster for a pro, fucking something pro, you know what I mean? Just want y'all to know. I feel like I'd be fucking phenomenal. Sorry, I'm not really the right person to ask for feedback. It's okay. Yeah, that kind of style has gotten pretty popular nowadays. That is, a lot of poems have been putting emphasis on the timing between words and lines. When performed out loud, it can be really powerful. What was the inspiration behind this one? Well, I'm not sure if I know how to put it. I guess you could say that I had some kind of epiphany recently. Let's go co-commentate Smash? Dude, I'd comment that shit. I would be such a good commentator, I swear, bro. I guess you could say that I have some kind of epiphany recently. It's been influencing my poems a bit. An epiphany? Yeah, something like that. I'm kind of nervous to talk about deep stuff like that, because it's kind of coming on strongly. Yo, Hosby, what the fuck was that? You'll explain all the tech stuff, and I'll be like, oh, you just got fucking spiked! Oh, shit! Maybe after everyone is better friends with each other. Anyway, here's Monica's writing tip of the day. Sometimes when you're writing a poem or a story, your brain gets too fixated on a specific point. If you try too hard to make it perfect, then you'll never make any progress. Just force yourself to get something down on the paper and tidy it up later. Another way to think about it is this. If you keep your pen in the same spot for too long, you'll get a big, dark puddle of ink. So just move your hand and go with the flow. That's my advice for today. Thanks for listening. Thanks, Monica. Can you please explain why my best friend is dead? Really fucking appreciate it. As Yuri reads the poem, I notice her eyes lighten. Exceptional. What was that? Did I say that out loud? Yuri first covers her mouth, but then ends up covering her whole face. He's going to hate me. Can you yeah, Monica, can you give me a reason why this game should not be uninstalled right now and the playthrough should only be these 2 episodes? I'd really appreciate it, Monica. I'd really appreciate it, President. Thank you. He's going to hate me. You really didn't do anything wrong, Yuri. I guess you're right. What am I getting so nervous for? Yuri takes a breath. So, what kind of writing experience do you have? Your use of imagery and metaphors indicates you've written a lot of poetry before. Really? Wow, that's a huge compliment coming from you. This is actually my first time, really. Huh? Yuri stares at me blankly, then looks at my poem again. Well, I know that. I just meant, Yuri trails off, unable to find an excuse. She traces her finger along the words in the poem, as if breaking it down more thoroughly. Yeah, okay. This is the reason I was able to tell. It's just that there are specific writing habits that are usually typical of new writers, and I have been through that myself. I've kind of learned to pick up on them. I think the most noticeable thing I recognize in new writers is that they try to make their style very deliberate. In other words, they tend to pick a writing style separate from the topic matter, and they form fit the two together. The end result is that both the style and expressiveness are weakened. Once Yuri finds her train of thought, it's as if her demeanor totally changes. Her stammering is completely gone, as she sounds like an expert. Of course, that's not something you can be blamed for. There's so many different skills and techniques that go on into writing even a simple poem. Not just finding them and building them, but getting them to work together is probably the most challenging part. It might take you some time, but it all comes with practice and learning by example and trying new things. I also hope that everyone else in the club gives you a valuable feedback. Natsuki can be a little biased though. Biased? How? Well, never mind. It shouldn't be talking about people like that. Sorry, it's fine. I'm not sure if Yuri's apologizing to herself, to me, or to Natsuki. Do you mind if I read your poem now? Please do. I'd love to share my thought process behind it. Yuri smiles dreamily as if that's a rare opportunity for her, which itself is kind of funny. After all, isn't this supposed to be a literature club? Ghost under the light. The tendrils of my hair illuminate beneath the amber glow, bathing. It must be this one, the last remaining streetlight to have withstood the test of time, the last yet to be replaced by the sickening blue-green hue of the future. I bathe, calm, breathing air of the present, but living in the past. The light flickens. I flicken back. Is that like... I don't know if I'm thinking too deep. But this poem kind of describes the glitches right now in the game. The blue-green hue of the future. Like, Natsuki was, like, having that fucking thing. And then it was like, it flickens. And then there was times where Yuri would also flicken. I don't know if that's a reference. Maybe I'm thinking too deep. But I'm starting to think... I don't know. Maybe there's something else. I don't know. This game... I'm thinking a lot more deep about this game than just trying to get some coochie. You guys see what I'm saying? Because earlier, Natsuki flashed green and blue. That's on point? You think so? I'm a god. Imagine this. I'm God. I'm sorry. I have such terrible handwriting. What? I wasn't thinking that at all. Now I'm trying to think. Now I kind of want to read the other poems and see what other things were foreshadowed. Because there probably is a lot of foreshadowing. They're not just random poems. They're probably not just random poems. Like, I mean, the last poem that we read for Sayori in the pamphlet, she was like, get out of my head, get out of my head. So that was her depression. And then at the end, she was like, I'm going to do what's best for you or whatever. So in her head, she even explained she feels like it's best that she's gone. She killed herself. So, I don't know. And now I'm thinking this game is a lot more deeper than me just trying to get some pussy, chat. So, I'm thinking about it more. Well. Yeah, Monica did say I left her hanging. Yeah, that is true. And that's fucked up. That's fucked up, Monica. That's fucked up. Yeah, there's definitely stuff that's being foreshadowed in this game. I'd have to like reread. When we beat it, we'll reread some of the poems and see what connections we can make. It'll be probably kind of fun. Well, I just don't read script very often. I actually think your handwriting is pretty. That's a relief. Also, I like the poem. Even though it's short, it's really descriptive. It wasn't too short. I usually write longer poems. Not at all. I'm really glad you liked it. I'll be honest. Since it's our first time sharing, I want to write something a little more mild. Something easy to digest, I suppose. Is interesting lore? You're gonna give this game that much of a deep word, lore? This game goes that deep, Osby, you think? That you're gonna give it that much of a term, lore? Are you into ghosts, Yuri? Huh? Actually, the story isn't about ghosts at all, Coochie Man. Really? I must have totally missed the point. Well, I suppose you did only glance over it after all. But remember that poems... Oh, eat those words? You'd call it lore? So there's a lot to this game? There's a lot to this game? Jesus Christ. I thought the game's main story was like only like 4 fucking hours before this fucking DLC shit happened. 4 hours? What the fuck? This is some One Piece shit, chat. This is some One Piece world building. Ugh. But remember that poets often express their own thoughts, feelings, and experiences in their work. They usually do more than tell a simple story or paint a picture. Yeah, this is Doki Doki Literature Club Plus. They just released this. There's like 6 hours of extra. I read fucking Hosby's anti of like extra content or some shit. In this case, perhaps the subject of the poem is only being symbolically compared to a ghost, lingering in her last remaining place of comfort, unable to let go of the past, and is soon to be left with nothing. That's a lot more solemn putting it that way, and I hadn't even thought of that. That's impressive. Eh? It's nothing, really. Yours was impressive, too. Nah. If anything, I could probably learn a thing or two from you. You think so? That's the reason why I bought it, because it just came out, like, with this plus version. And I was like, fuck it, let's try it out, chat. You think so? Yeah, of course. You know, I was really nervous about doing all this, but in the end, I enjoyed it. I'm going to keep doing my best for you, Coochie Man. Me too. As long as we know the one thing that has stayed consistent, chat, is that I'm the Coochie Man. Natsuki! Well, it's about what I expected from someone like you. God, this bitch is still a bitch. That's a little blunt. Well, excuse me. Appreciate it, Devin. I'm gonna upload all of it once I'm done with it to YouTube, because Hosby and like Kyle, they said that there's people that like to spoil this game. So I'd rather not open or upload them to YouTube with comments turned off, because comments help the YouTube algorithm put your video on more people's recommended. So I'd rather just upload it when I'm done with the game. It's not like I said it was bad. I just didn't invoke any emotions. So basically, it's not cute enough for your taste. Do you want to get smacked? I'll pass. Sigh. Well, anyway, I guess I need to show you mine. Not that you'll like it. Eagles can fly, monkeys can climb, crickets can leap, horses can race, owls can seek, cheetahs can run, eagles can fly, people can try, but that's about it. Yeah, wheezy, yeah. This is about how, you know what I'm saying? No matter what the fuck you do, chat, you ain't shit. Don't ever forget. No, you see everything the light touches, chat? That shit ain't yours. Don't ever get it twisted. This ain't the Lion King, pussy. Yeah, I told you that you weren't gonna like it. I like it. What? Just to be honest, I am. Why are you so convinced that I wouldn't like it? Well, because everyone in high school thinks that writing has to be all sophisticated and stuff. So people don't even take my writing seriously. But isn't the point of poems for people to express themselves? Your writing style wouldn't make your message any less valid. Yes, exactly. I like when it's easy to read, but it hits you hard. Like in this poem, seeing everyone around you do great things can be really disheartening. So I decided to write about it. Yeah, I understand. But the other nice thing about simple writing is that it puts more weight on the wordplay. Like I set up for a rhyme at the end, but then made it fall flat on purpose. It helps bring out the feeling in the last line. So you did. I guess more went into it than I realized. That's what it means to be a pro. Oh, ¿ya te vas? ¿Bueno te va a llevar? ¿A cuánto tiempo? ¿Vas a esperar? Okay, está bien. Alright, cierra la puerta. Alright, good night. Bye. I'm glad you learned something. Didn't expect that from the youngest one here, did you? I don't know. What do you think how do you think I should upload them, Hosby? As of right now, the first video is like 2+ hours, like 2 hours, 10 minutes. Mom said, knock you out, bro. Yeah, I guess not. I just had to humor her with that last comment. I don't really care how old everyone is, but if Natsuki is feeling proud, then it won't take that away from him. Like, how do you think I should lay out the videos? Should they be hour longs, 30 minutes? I don't even know. Phew. I guess that's everyone. I glanced around the room. I was going to keep it uncut just because I feel like people want to see everything that I do a part of this game. Not just the crazy parts. I mean, I don't know. I have no idea how I'll edit this. That was a little more stressful than I anticipated. Because I was just going to keep them uncut because it's just my first playthrough and, you know, you see my reaction to everything. It's as if everyone is judging me for my mediocre writing abilities. Even if they're just being nice, there's no way my poems can stand up to theirs. This is a literature club after all. I sighed. I guess that's what I ended up getting myself into. Across the room, Monica is writing something in her notebook. My eyes land on Yuri and Natsuki. They gingerly exchange sheets of paper, sharing their respective poems. As they read in tandem, I watch each of their expressions change. Natsuki's eyebrows furrow in frustration. Meanwhile, Yuri smiles sadly. What's with this language? Did you say something? Oh, it's nothing. Natsuki dismissively returns the poem to the desk with one hand. I guess you could say it's fancy. Thanks. Yours is kawaii. Cute. Did you completely miss the symbolism or something? You're uncut. Okay. They'll be uncut for sure. Like, I'm not going to cut out parts. I mean, I'll probably just cut out that little second right now. I just talked to my mom, if I remember to. You know, shit like that. Like, if I had a distraction or something. But overall, I'll keep it uncut. Alright, uncut hour-long videos. So right now we have about 4 or 5 videos worth of content to do. How can that be cute? I know that. I just meant the language, I guess. I was trying to say something nice. You mean you had to try that hard to come up with something nice to say? Thanks, but it really didn't come out nice at all. Well, I do have a couple suggestions. If I was looking for suggestions, I would have asked someone who actually liked it. Which people did, by the way. Monica liked it. And Coochie Man did too. It's going to be uncut. I was just curious about the length of the episodes on YouTube. Whether they should be hour long, 30 minutes, or should I just upload the whole stream? Like, episode 1 is all from what we did last time. Episode 2 is everything from today. So I was kind of more curious about the length. So based on that, I'll gladly give you the suggestions on my own. First of all, excuse me. I appreciate the offer, but I spent a long time establishing my writing style. I don't expect it to change anytime soon, unless, of course, I come across something particularly inspiring. Which I haven't yet. Yeah, nani? And Coochie Man liked my poem too, you know? He even told me he was impressed by it. Natsuki suddenly stands up. Oh, I didn't realize you were so invested in trying to impress our new member, Yuri. That's not what I... you're just... Yuri stands up as well. Maybe you're just jealous that Coochie Man appreciates my advice more than he appreciated yours. And how do you know he didn't appreciate my advice more? Are you that full of yourself? No. If I was full of myself, I would deliberately go out of my way to make everything I do overly cutesy. Well, you know what? I wasn't the one whose boobs magically grew a size bigger as soon as Coochie Man started showing up. Her titties! Natsuki, that's a little... This doesn't involve you. Taking out your own insecurities on others like that, you're really acting as young as you look, Natsuki. Me, look who's talking, you wanna be edgy bitch! Oh, shit! Oh. Edgy? Sorry that my lifestyle is too much for someone of your mental age to comprehend. See? Just saying that proves my point. We have no Sayori to, like, stop this. Most people learn to get over themselves after they graduate middle school, you know? If you want to prove anything, then stop harassing others with your sickening attitude. You think you can counterbalance your toxic personality just by dressing and acting cute? The only cute thing about you is how hard you try. Whoa, be careful or you might cut yourself on that edge, Yuri. Oh, my bad. You already do, don't you? Is that the fucking reference to her sweater and the knife earlier? When she was rolling down her sleeve and why she loves not... Did you just accuse me of cutting myself? What the fuck is wrong with your head? Yeah, go on. Let Coochie Man hear everything you really think. I'm sure he'll be head over heels for you after this. Suddenly Yuri turns towards me as if she noticed I was standing here. Coochie Man, she's just trying to make me look bad. That's not true. She started it. I couldn't fucking read that! How did I get dragged? It's not whoever... Fuck! I'm with Yuri, bro. I feel like I shouldn't be clicking Yuri. Natsuki? No, I didn't do anything. Hey, Monica. Hey, Coochie Man. Why don't we step outside for a little bit? Okay? Yeah. That's That's fine, Monica. Sorry about that. They really shouldn't have tried to get you involved. It's probably better for us to stay out of this. We'll go back inside once they're done yelling. Ah, some president I am, right? I can't even confront my own club members properly. I just wish I was able to be a little more assertive sometimes. But I never have it in me to put my foot down against others. You understand, right? Anyway, if this makes you want to spend less time with the others, then that's fine. I'd be happy to spend time with you instead. Suddenly, Natsuki runs out of the classroom. She quickly runs away. Oh dear. Well, it looks like they're done. I didn't mean it. I didn't mean it. I didn't mean it. Yuri is rocking back and forth in her desk with her palms on her forehead. Yuri? Dude, what the fuck is this game? I didn't mean it. I believe you. I have no idea what Yuri might have said to Natsuki or did. Coochie man, please don't hate me. Please. I'm not like this. There's something wrong with me today. It's fine, Yuri. We know you didn't mean it. Besides, I'm sure Natsuki will forget all about this by tomorrow. Completely. Anyway, the meeting is over, so you can go home now if you want. Yuri looks at me like she wants to say something, but she keeps glancing at Monica. You can go first, Monica. I'd like to stay a little bit longer. I'm the president, so I should be the last one out. I'll wait for you to be done. Well, I'm vice president, so please let me take that responsibility today. It kind of sounds like you don't want me around for something, Yuri. It's not that. It's not that. I didn't get much of a chance to discuss my book with Coochie Man. It would just be embarrassing with you listening. Sigh. I guess I don't really have a choice, do I? I'm sorry for causing trouble, but I really appreciate you understanding. What the fuck is this game? What the fuck did you guys make me play, bro? I'm broken right now, and I'm in fear. My heart wants to flee because of a rain cloud with anxiety. This unending fucking game makes me have a lot of anger. I question all of your fucking sanity because I know you all have a lot of sadness. You dark, twisted milk bastards. Who like clapping cheeks for this weird ass game called Doki Doki. This game's causing me fucking misery right now, chat. It's not very kawaii. I'm very depression right now. My memories, what the fuck? It's just all fucked, man. I'm disoriented right now. I have so much wrath and grief. Ah!